Hey, Bears fans, let's dive right into everything that's happening with our beloved Chicago Bears, because there's a lot to unpack as we head into this season. The big news that has everyone talking is, of course, Micah Parsons being traded to Green Bay. That move alone is shaking up the entire division and is something every Bears fan needs to process. Facing a talent like Micah twice a year is no small task, and it raises serious questions about how our offensive line is going to hold up. Whoever is starting at left tackle is going to need every ounce of skill, preparation, and maybe a little bit of luck to stand chance. The Bears' edge group has had its struggles, and losing the chance at a player like Parsons makes it clear that adjustments are going to be needed if we want to stay competitive against the Packers and the rest of the NFC North. There aren't a ton of big-name alternatives out there, and most of the potential trade options have already been locked in elsewhere. Names like Zadarius Smith or Jadeveon Clowney come up occasionally, but neither of them has the same impact potential as someone like Parsons. Trey Hendrickson recently re-signed in Cincinnati, which removes him from the conversation for this season. And realistically, the kind of game-changing edge rusher the Bears need just isn't available on the market right now. This leaves the team in a position where minor adjustments and smart roster management are going to have to carry the load. The pressure is on the coaching staff to make sure that every member of the defensive line is ready to perform, and that includes making the most of rotation players and practice squad call-ups who can step in and contribute right away. For instance, players like Tenno Passings could see active roles early in the season. He's a veteran familiar with Dennis Allen's defensive system and could provide some depth where it's desperately needed. Meanwhile, the Bears are counting on key contributors like Monty Swat and Dongwa to make an immediate impact. If these guys can't produce at a high level, the Bears could be in serious trouble because there aren't many other realistic options to fill those gaps. Defensive line depth has been a concern for some time, and this year, it will be under a microscope, especially when the team faces elite offenses in the division. Looking at the broader picture, the Bears will likely continue to rely heavily on 12 personnel in their offensive packages, meaning one running back with two tight ends, to provide additional support for the offensive line. With Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary on the other side, the Bears are going to need every bit of help they can get when it comes to blocking and creating time for the quarterback. Green Bay doesn't play the Bears until weeks 14 and 16, which gives the team some time to prepare, but those matchups are going to be incredibly challenging. The offensive line has to chip, double team, and strategize carefully if they hope to keep the defense from wreaking havoc on the backfield. Speaking of the quarterback, Caleb Williams is another name that's being closely watched this season. Public rankings are all over the place, and while the expectation is for him to improve, the question remains, how big of a leap can he make? Can he break into the top 20, top 15, or maybe even flirt with a top 10 ranking among quarterbacks? There's a lot of optimism, but also a lot of uncertainty. Caleb's performance will be a key factor in whether the Bears' offense can take a significant step forward. He has shown flashes of brilliance, particularly in high-pressure situations, but consistency will be crucial if the Bears hope to compete at a high level. Injuries are also an unavoidable part of the equation. With Austin Booker on injured reserve and other players dealing with their own physical setbacks, the Bears are going to have to make some strategic decisions about who to elevate from the practice squad and how to get the most out of their current roster. Depth will be tested, and every move will matter. Players who can step into roles and perform effectively will be invaluable, especially when facing the high-powered offenses in the division. Turning back to the defensive side, the discussion about how the Bears might approach acquiring an edge rusher is still open. Big trades for players like Micah Parsons or Trey Hendrickson aren't currently feasible, and any potential moves may not materialize until the trade deadline. Until then, the focus will be on maximizing the talent currently available and finding ways to generate pressure through scheme, rotation, and player development. The Bears need to be proactive and creative, because a strong pass rush could make all the difference in close games and in keeping the team competitive against division rivals. Meanwhile, college football is back, and it's hard not to notice the impact that rising stars from the collegiate level could eventually have on the Bears roster in the future. Edge rushers, offensive linemen, and other key contributors are emerging, and the draft next year could provide some critical solutions to the depth issues the Bears currently face. Watching players develop now gives fans a glimpse of the talent pipeline that could help turn the team into a consistent contender. Offensively, the Bears have made some interesting draft choices recently, and there's debate about whether different picks could have positioned the team better. For example, there are discussions about taking Josh Simmons in the first round or a Randy Ursary in later rounds, but trades and selections shape the roster in ways that leave room for speculation. Evaluating how these players perform early in the season will be important for understanding the team's trajectory. Some rookies could make immediate contributions, while others might take longer to adapt to the NFL pace, and that development will be critical for both short-term success and long-term planning. On the defensive line, the conversation continues about who might be available in future drafts. Players from Clemson, Penn State, and other major programs are under the microscope, and scouts are looking for the next player who can provide a difference-making pass rush. The Bears will need to monitor these prospects closely, because adding a high-quality edge rusher could dramatically improve the team's chances against elite quarterbacks and dynamic offenses. Balancing immediate needs with long-term strategy is always tricky, but it's essential for sustained success in the league. This season will also test the leadership and resilience of players across the roster. From offensive linemen tasked with blocking elite pass rushers to defensive playmakers who need to step up in critical moments, every individual will be under pressure to perform at a high level. Young players will have opportunities to make their mark, while veterans will need to lead by example and maintain composure during challenging stretches of the season. The Bears coaching staff will be closely evaluating effort, technique, and execution on every play, because small details can be the difference between a win and a loss in the NFL. The schedule itself presents a mixture of opportunities and challenges. Facing divisional rivals like the Packers twice and preparing for other playoff-caliber teams in the conference will require meticulous game planning. The offensive and defensive schemes must be flexible enough to adjust to a variety of opponents, and player health and stamina will be constantly monitored. The ability to adapt during games, make halftime adjustments, and respond to unexpected circumstances will be crucial for the Bears to remain competitive throughout the season. And finally, fan engagement continues to play a huge role in the team's energy and motivation. From social media interactions to live game experiences, Bears fans have a reputation for passion and dedication, and that support can give players an extra boost on critical plays. Analysts and commentators will continue to debate roster decisions, trades, and draft picks, but at the end of the day, the players on the field have the chance to prove themselves and define the narrative of the season. Every week will bring new challenges, and every game will offer the opportunity for the Bears to make a statement in the NFC North. As we continue to break down the Chicago Bears' outlook this season, it's impossible to ignore the significance of every roster decision and strategic move. The season will be defined by how well the team adapts to the challenges presented both internally and externally. With Micah Parsons now in Green Bay, the NFC North landscape has shifted, forcing the Bears to confront the reality that they will have to navigate games against one of the league's premier pass rushers without the luxury of a game-changing trade addition. This puts immense responsibility on the offensive line, and particularly the left tackle, who will face a grueling test twice every season. Braxton Jones and any other player stepping into that role will need not only skill but preparation, anticipation, and resilience to withstand a player of Parsons' caliber. Every rep will matter, and every play will be scrutinized for execution, technique, and timing, because even a slight misstep could lead to disastrous consequences on the scoreboard. The coaching staff is acutely aware of these challenges, and they're going to have to maximize every resource available. While the Bears' edge group may not be as formidable as some of their rivals, there are opportunities to create pressure through strategy and scheme. Line stunts, timely blitzes, and defensive rotations can offset some of the disparities in raw talent, but it requires discipline and cohesion from every player on the field. Practice squad elevations, like bringing in Tenno Passings or other versatile veterans familiar with the system, could make a meaningful difference. The Bears' success may hinge on the ability to blend experience with youth, leveraging high-effort performances and technical skill to close gaps where elite athletes like Parsons and Gary threaten to dominate. On the offensive side, the Bears are likely to lean heavily on personnel that provides maximum protection and versatility. Using two tight ends with a single running back gives extra support for the offensive line, while also maintaining the threat of the run game and short passing options. This approach can help mitigate pressure from elite edge rushers and allow the quarterback time to execute deeper reads. However, it also requires precise timing and discipline from all skill position players, as they must be ready to adjust instantly to defensive schemes designed to exploit mismatches or confusion. Offensive coordination and communication are going to be critical, particularly in high-pressure games against top-tier defenses, where a split-second hesitation can result in turnovers or stall drives. Speaking of the quarterback, Caleb Williams carries enormous expectations heading into this season. Public rankings place him anywhere from the mid-teens to top 20, but performance on the field will determine whether he can rise to the challenge and validate the confidence placed in him. A key question remains: can he make the leap from solid rookie performance to elite-level quarterbacking capable of carrying a team through adversity? Consistency will be the defining factor. While flashes of brilliance can energize a team and swing individual games, sustained high-level play across the entire season will be essential if the Bears hope to contend in a division as competitive as the NFC North. Caleb's development is not just about individual talent. It's about how he elevates those around him, including receivers, running backs, and the offensive line, particularly when facing elite pass rushers. Injuries remain a constant variable, affecting depth and roster management. Austin Booker on injured reserve removes an experienced piece from the lineup, while Dominique Robinson's status will need to be carefully monitored. This makes depth planning crucial, as backups and practice squad call-ups could be forced into significant roles sooner than anticipated. Players like Monty Swat and Dongwa will be counted on to perform immediately, and their ability to step up could determine the difference between winning and losing key matchups. Evaluating player readiness and conditioning is therefore paramount, as the season is long and grueling, and sustaining peak performance over 16 games is never easy. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers around the league have grown louder this week as news broke that Jadeveon Clowney, one of the most feared edge rushers of his era, is reportedly set to join the Chicago Bears for the 2025 season. According to sources close to the team, the Bears front office has been quietly working behind the scenes to secure Clowney's signature, aiming to bolster a defense that has struggled with pass rush consistency over the past several years. While no official announcement has yet been made, the mere speculation of Clowney donning the navy and orange has sent ripples through the NFL community. Fans on social media are already imagining the havoc he could wreak on opposing quarterbacks, envisioning highlight reels filled with sacks, forced fumbles, and game-changing momentum shifts. Coaches and analysts alike have noted that Clowney's experience and physical dominance could provide an immediate boost to the Bears' defensive line, potentially transforming their approach to both run-stopping and quarterback pressure. There's a sense that the organization is willing to invest heavily in a player who, despite injuries in recent seasons, still carries the reputation of a game-altering talent capable of shifting the narrative of any matchup he steps onto the field. The buzz around Soldier Field has grown almost feverish, with speculation suggesting that Clowney's presence alone might influence off-season training regimes and strategic planning for the team's defensive scheme. Insiders claim that Clowney's potential arrival has already triggered discussions within the Bears' locker room about how to best integrate a player of his caliber into an existing defensive unit that has shown flashes of brilliance but struggled to consistently pressure opposing quarterbacks. Rumors indicate that the coaching staff envisions him playing a hybrid role, alternating between traditional edge rusher responsibilities and more versatile positions along the defensive line to maximize his disruptive impact. Analysts have pointed out that pairing Clowney with other emerging talents could create a defensive front so formidable that opposing offenses may need to rethink their entire game plan, especially in critical divisional matchups. Moreover, there's speculation that Clowney's presence might have a ripple effect on player morale, with younger defenders potentially elevating their own performance to match the intensity and work ethic he is expected to bring. Conversations in sports media circles hint at strategic maneuvers behind the scenes, including possible adjustments to salary cap allocations to accommodate his contract, emphasizing the team's commitment to winning now while leveraging veteran leadership. While official statements remain scarce, whispers of Clowney's medical evaluations and fitness preparations have only intensified the anticipation, with insiders suggesting that all parties are aligning to ensure a seamless onboarding process that maximizes his potential from day one. Fans, journalists, and analysts alike are increasingly treating this as less of a possibility and more of an impending reality, fueling an atmosphere of expectation and intrigue around Chicago's defensive renaissance. The speculation surrounding Clowney's move to Chicago has extended beyond tactical considerations, with discussions emerging about its potential impact on the team's broader culture and identity. Industry insiders suggest that his reputation as a relentless competitor could set a new tone for practices and off-field leadership, subtly reshaping the ethos of the Bears roster as they prepare for the 2025 campaign. Rumors abound that management views this acquisition not just as a talent upgrade, but as a statement to the league, signaling an aggressive intent to return to playoff contention and reclaim the respect of a conference crowded with formidable offenses. Analysts have debated the broader ramifications, suggesting that Clowney's presence could attract additional free agents seeking to play alongside a high-profile defensive disruptor, potentially creating a domino effect that strengthens multiple layers of the roster. Within fan circles, speculative threads proliferate with projections of defensive schemes that could utilize his speed, strength, and experience to neutralize elite quarterbacks and create matchups favoring Chicago's secondary. Media commentators have also speculated about potential pairings with existing linebackers and defensive ends, considering how coaching adjustments might optimize his abilities while maintaining overall balance. Even without official confirmation, the rumor has created a psychological edge, as opposing teams reportedly express concern over facing a revitalized Bears defense, with insiders describing conversations in league circles hinting at a cautious reevaluation of offensive strategies to account for a player whose mere presence on the field can alter snap counts, play calling, and momentum. In short, the buzz surrounding Clowney is creating a whirlwind of possibilities that stretch far beyond individual statistics, touching on team identity, morale, and long-term strategic vision. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.